Hi, this is Patrick, and you are trading with Prime. I've been away for a few days. Apologize. I wanted to get into this. We were kind of looking for this reversal candle here. I probably talked about in the last video that I did. We titled that video The Big Short. I don't want to get anyone confused with the Big Short. It's very easy to look for a turn in the marketplace. We've been looking for this turn for, let's get real here, since March and April. We've been waiting for this moment. I'm here to tell you it's not going to be as easy as this. We're not just going to see a reversal candle and then all of a sudden we just see this, crash. I'm here to tell you that it's not going to be that easy. If you are long the market or short the market, it is never that easy. Rarely is it ever that easy. So we'll get into that in a second here. I just wanted to go to another chart, or I'm going to go to the web here. Let's kind of look at what happened today. We saw movement in the bond market. We saw TLT, which is the inverse to the 20-year yield. We saw a little bit of action going on there. And what this is it's funny. I'm not a conspiracy theorist, but we did see a rally in the yields this morning. And the interesting thing is of course, right after we see the rally, what did the Treasury Department do? Interesting enough, they sold $48 billion in 3-year notes. Who wants to be a buyer of 3-year notes to begin with? But that's what we're seeing in the bond market. I'm not going to get too much further than that, but that's why we did see a little bit of price action pullback in gold, silver, the broad market. Okay, so looking at gold, silver, ETFs, miners, and by the way, if you are trading the miners, it's a pretty speculative place to be trading. So if you are long things like GDX, just take caution in that. We did see a pullback in gold and silver. I don't think it's going to be a market turn in those areas, and also with Bitcoin, but I'm not going to get into Bitcoin. But as far as gold and silver, we did see a turn today. I don't think it's going to be a market top in gold and silver, although it could be, but I highly doubt it. Let's go back into the chart really quick. Okay, so just looking at today's price action, I'm going to zoom in here in a second, but looking at the daily chart, we're kind of saying, let's stay bullish here. Let's give the bulls the benefit of the doubt. Yes, we saw a pretty bearish day. In fact, we closed, I believe it's just below the low of yesterday. So this still could go either way. I believe after hours right now, we're putting in an hourly bear flag pattern. So it wouldn't surprise me. Well, for one, I don't know if I would chase the short. I wouldn't go short tomorrow morning unless there was some sort of pop up in the morning. And even then, you have to be really careful because this market is not going to be, it's not just going to roll over that easy for us. We really have to be careful on what we're shorting. But it is something to consider, that if you are a bear, maybe we do want to take a look at this being a high. As of right now, this can be treated as a high. The high of today is 337.54. So that can be used to trade against if you are short the market. I'm going to zoom in a little bit. I'm going to go to another time frame here. Let's just go to the hourly chart and just kind of take a look here. You do see a little bit of support. And so we saw this, first thing in the morning, we were rallying. We saw some news this morning come out with Russia. They found that, they have a vaccine. They're going to put it onto the world or submit it to the world market. And, I don't know. I mean, I have high hopes for a vaccine. I'm not here to say that Russia is not going to have some sort of, magic bullet. But I know in the US here, we're just a little bit more strict when it comes to mass producing vaccines for millions of people, hundreds of millions of people. We really have to be thorough on our due diligence. It is possible and it is hopeful. So just looking at this right now, we did fall back to some minor support here. So it is absolutely possible that the bulls open this up in the morning and just continue the rally. That is absolutely possible. And if I was a bear and I was short, which I am, what I would do is I would take this last reversal candle at the end of the day. This is an hourly candle. And so I would take the high of that candle, which is right now the high of this candle is 334.82. If you want to take a little bit of profit off the table, you could possibly use that as a stop loss if you were short. So just looking at this though really quick, if you think about it, if I'm a buyer in this market, I'm not trying to buy off of this support. The risk reward is not there. What I would want to be buying off of is either this mid-level support, and I'm going to call this 326.90, between 326.90 and let's say 328. Somewhere in that price level, I wouldn't mind buying it. But that's, of course, if we bounced off of it and began making higher highs, that's when I would want to be a buyer. Keep that in mind. I would love for this to come down to, whether I'm a bull or a bear, I would love to see this actually take out this trend line and come back to this support down here around 320. It's possible that we go lower than that, but let's take one day at a time. It's not going to happen in one day. So we really could take this one day at a time. But those are things to kind of look for. You know, long term, to add to my long term account, I would want this to come all the way back down to this 200 period moving average, which is around 300. And you know, we haven't been down there in a while. So it would be nice to see this eventually work its way back down to here and then find support. And if it did, I would love to take this trade, you know, especially for long term account kind of trades to add to those positions. And really a number of different places. Really quick, guys, I don't know if you've if you've been on our Discord. The link is in the description below. I'm not going to go through all the channels here, but this is really good information as far as intraday, taking a look at day trades. We have option alerts, spread alerts, stock alerts. Now this is all premium. Pretty soon that premium, right now it's free. So if you join now, it's free right now, but pretty soon it's the Discord will be locked. We'll have a free section of the Discord, and then eventually we're going to have a premium side to where new members that are new are going to have to pay a little bit of a premium to join that membership. But of course, right now it's free. So a lot of good information. Don't worry about the plays that are on the screen. In fact, I would not take any of these trades that are on the screen. You most likely will lose money. These trades are already past due. And I'm not recommending that you take any of the trades from today at all. You most likely, again, you'll probably lose money. These are trades that we've already taken. I just wanted to show you what the Discord looked like. Again, the link is in the description. And so we're going to go back into the chart here. And by the way, while we're on this, if you guys are getting value out of these videos, if you want me to keep doing these videos, feel free to go ahead and hit the subscribe button. Like the video, hit the bell notification. Go ahead and type in the comment section of the video if you have any questions or you're getting value out of these videos. Let me know in the comment section below. And by the way, we're doing a Sundays 5 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. We do a live stream. It's free. We can help out traders, answer any technical analysis questions they have. If there's any stocks they're looking at. And this Sunday, if you're interested, we have we're calling it an options course. But what it really is a beginning to intermediate options trading. And so if you have a chance, go ahead and, hit the bell button, and that way you can be notified. So as soon as we go live, you guys could be a part of that. That's all I'm going to say about that. So just taking a look around, I know I brought up gold, so we're going to go to gold, and we'll go back over to the Qs here in a second. So have a little bit of patience. We were also kind of, last few days here, we've been saying, that we're getting kind of ran up here. I mean, we're almost going straight up. We're probably due for a little bit of a pullback. Now, we did kind of see that pullback, and I just want to measure this really quick because we're talking about right now we're down 7.5%. We're almost to about support. In fact, if I zoomed out here, let me go to a weekly chart. Let me zoom way out here. Let me go to 10 years. Okay, so I have the highs is 185.85. That was a previous resistance back here in 2010 going into 2011. We are getting pretty stretched here. And as you can see, this market has really consolidated this whole time over the last several years and is just now making higher highs and higher lows. This is to be expected. Pullbacks are to be expected. We've actually come back a little bit, and we could go look at the gold futures chart to see if that would give us any more clues as far as where the actual support and resistance would be on the futures, which would probably be better than just looking at GLD by itself. But just looking at GLD, we're already pulled back a little bit. In fact, I would love to be a buyer down here at 173.02. I don't know if we're going to get down there, but if we did, I would love to be a buyer. You see a lot more reactions back here. If I can go ahead and highlight these, you see 1, 2, 3 tags of that price level. That would be, and in fact, that would fake everybody out as far as, coming back in past the old highs, coming back in, and it would make it look like we weren't going to break out again. I would love to be a buyer down in that level, down at that level. As far as adding to my longer term positions, especially, let's look at silver. Same thing. It'd behoove you to look at the actual futures themselves. I do like to look at this chart. This is the one that I'm trading, so this is what I like to look at. I posted this silver thing in the Discord. I posted it on Facebook. And so here's the thing is, yes, we're going straight up. Yes, this has had multiple reactions at this level. It is no surprise at all that we found resistance here. I don't think this rally is over though. And look where we came from. We came from $10.86. We ran all the way up to $26.85 area. Of course, we're going to pull back a little bit. In fact, we could even pull back down to $20.50 and it would still be bullish on a weekly time frame. Keep that in mind. But on a daily time frame, let's look at the daily here. Zooming in here, it's not surprising at all. We were pretty much going straight up. Look at the RSI. I mean, what are we at here? 80 or 90 RSI. So it's you know, it needed this pullback. It is absolutely healthy. We are at support. If this started making higher highs from this point on, I would definitely be a buyer. But I would love the price to come back even further. I would love it back here, maybe even down to $19, $20, you know, somewhere in that price area would be fine for me. But again, if we started making higher highs right now, I would definitely be a buyer. TLT. This one also, again, posted in the Discord. And I don't even know if I was the first one to post about TLT, but I was, you know, I had one of the posts. I think another member posted about TLT first. And so this is a cool thing about the Discord is that multiple people might see the same thing. Somebody will get to it first and they'll go ahead and post, you know, that they're watching TLT. And this is what I noticed today on intraday charts, just looking at the hourly chart. You saw TLT, and again, this is the inverse of the 20-year yield. And so you saw a consolidation here, right? It ran up and just started consolidating, ran up again, consolidated, and then it was making this pattern, was up and down and up and down, pretty volatile. To be honest, I thought it was going to break out until I saw this reversal candle here on the hourly chart. Then I'm like, okay, well, it's definitely needs more time to get through. And you know what? Maybe it needs more time down in this area now, but we did fall through support. So I would not be surprised to see this maybe even back test and pull back. Or, you know, this action here could have just been from the auctions themselves. They like to run up the yields to make it a better looking sound investment for banks to buy these bonds, right? So I'm not surprised what, you know, action is going on in the yields. So that's as far as they go. I did like the price action today in the yields though, absolutely. Let's go to UUP, which is the dollar. And again, UUP, you want to be looking at the actual, I mean, it would be better to look at the actual futures of the dollar or maybe even the currency pairs. But this is how I like to trade the dollar. I use options on the UUP. This was posted last couple days, last few days. In fact, this bottom was posted over here. This pattern down here, I don't necessarily want to call it a bottoming pattern, but to me, it looks like we are, you know, possible double bottom, tweezer bottom, however you want to call it. There are probably the biggest short position in the dollar in I don't know how many years is happening right now. There are so many people that are short the dollar because they think it's going to fail. They think it's going to go to zero. You know, I'm kind of seeing that in a lot of places. You know what? Maybe it will roll over at this point. Maybe it's just consolidating to roll over. But my bet right now is placed to the long side. I am personally looking for a breakout. In fact, this almost looks like if I went ahead and zoomed in on this. To me, what this looks like, it looks like we bottomed out here on volume. If you notice this volume coming in and then the volume kind of taking off, what happened is we bounced up, we gapped up, and to me, this looks like a bull flag. I would not be surprised if we came up here and challenged this moving average or even up here at this $20. Let me get an actual price on this. The closing price of this candle is $25.50. There's going to be a little bit of resistance in that price area. I would not be surprised seeing price come up to that price area. So just take a look at that as well. I'm positioned pretty heavily in the dollar. That's what I'm looking for. And you know what? I'm willing to be stopped out. I'm willing to just ride out this trade. I'm willing to let it just bounce in this area, and if it comes and takes me out, so be it. That's fine. But as of right now, I'm positioned to the long side. Let's go to the Qs. Now, by the way, I'm going to go to Tesla here in a second, and then we'll wrap it up. As far as, again, I'm going to really push the Discord because Tesla was also posting the Discord well before after hours, well before the end of the day. Now, at the time, I didn't actually think we would get the action we got during after hours. You know, I should really go look at it before I preach about it too much. You know, who knows? Maybe it's sold off by now. I don't know. But again, I'm going to really push that and stress it because we've had so many good plays lately that I that's all I can do is just kind of push it. Bank of America we played today. Absolutely amazing. So anyway, let's go into this. The Qs, and I've said this before, the Qs have been on timeout. And for those of you who are new, what I mean by timeout is I mean sector rotation out of the Qs. To me, this is clear. It's either there's one of two things going on here, or one of three things. This is either distribution, which you can kind of see pricing. If I put it on a lower time frame, you'll see it better. Let's put it on the hourly. You can kind of see this. Let's do. No. Yeah, let's do the hourly. You can kind of see this as far as, you know, it runs up and then kind of sells off a little bit, and then runs up and then sells off a little bit, and it just has the same consistency. It did break out. I'll give the bulls that. We did break out of this pattern here, and that would have been a nice buy. But every time it runs up, it just kind of sells off and gets faded. Right? To me, it looks like distribution, but I could be wrong. We need to give the bulls the benefit of the doubt. It is definitely a bullish pattern. They're really, again, look at this chart. Are you kidding? This is a bullish chart. We're at all-time highs. Let it burn off a little bit of steam, and that could be the second thing that it's doing. It could be consolidating to make higher prices is what it could be doing. So there could be a lot going on with it. And the last thing that it could be doing is it could be setting up to roll over. We don't really know yet. You know, I don't even want to say that yet because we're so far away from that. There's a lot that this chart would have to do to begin becoming bearish. But again, even if I go to the weekly chart, I mean, keep in mind on a weekly time frame, price could come all the way back to $242 and it would still be bullish on a weekly chart. You know, we'd still be above at or above the 20 week rising moving average. So kind of keep that in perspective. To not totally get it out of context. As of right now, this is a weekly reversal. If we close the week before last week's candle, it is a weekly reversal, and you haven't seen that in quite some time. The only time I saw that was a few weeks ago, but then we just recovered. Every time you see this chart roll over, it recovers. So give the bulls the benefit of the doubt, let them burn off some steam. Last thing, I'm going to look at a Tesla, and then we're going to wrap it up. I did a post a few days ago. Actually, I did one I think this weekend, and then I did another one today. I posted it. So here's something I want you guys to look at because some people were asking. Here's the thing. I'm a Tesla bull or a Tesla bear. I pretty much always have been, especially since we broke out past 1,000. But I thought $500 was too much for this company. They don't make the profit to justify the price, you know, per share. The market cap, it's not worth it. However, it doesn't matter what I think. You know, you really have to give it to the bulls, and I'm kind of leaning, you know what? I could definitely take this trade. So I was looking for a little bit of consolidation in this area, and that's kind of what we're seeing right now. Let the chart consolidate. Let it run its energy, you know, let it kind of burn out as far as once people start to forget about Tesla, that's as soon as the buyers will show up and they'll just start running this thing up higher. So two areas I was looking at. I was looking at consolidation, possibly buying down here in this price area. I'm going to zoom in one more time so you can kind of really see what I'm looking at here. I was looking at buying this price down here. On the chart that I posted on the Discord, I had a little circle thing, you know, oval right here. And so what I'm looking at is if price comes down to this price, or especially 277 area, it's okay that it's doing this. I mean, in fact, this is healthy. This is what a healthy chart looks like. There's nothing bearish about this price action. this is healthy. So we posted about it and we said, this is, you know, keep an eye on this. And this is why, because I'm looking for either a breakout or a breakdown. Now, technically we haven't seen the breakout yet, so I would not chase this, and I especially wouldn't chase at it up in this area. I would wait for the actual breakout, possible back test on the, you know, 15-minute chart, the hourly chart. Look for that back test. You might not get it, but let's wait. Set yourself up for a high probability trade. That's what we're after. That's what we're looking for. You know, once we start chasing things, that's when it really becomes ugly. Let's go to the after hours here. For all I know, it could be all the way back down to where it was. So we'll take a look here. So no, it looks like it's still holding its ground. So there you see our bull flag pattern. You know, and I don't know what kind of price target you would put on this. You know, this is pretty good price action, but again, it's getting near resistance again. If I pulled this line down and I made my bull flag right there, you know, which I totally could do. I mean, you could redraw your lines a little bit, you know, but it's at resistance right now. For one, it's at the downward trend line resistance, right? But it's not only that, it's at resistance right here. It's at, you know, there's a little bit more resistance right here. So there's several horizontal resistance levels, and that's why I have this 1690 on the screen. I'm looking for a breakout above 1690, because even if it did break through this bull flag pattern, we still have to get through 1690. Then that would open up the doorway to going back to the daily chart, right? That would open the doorway to take a measured move, and let's measure it from 1,000. 1,000 up to the top of the bull flag is 75%, which is, that's insane. It doesn't have to run that much, but let's hypothetically, that's $760. I don't think it's going to run $760, but then again, it, you know, from the bottom of the bull flag, if it ran $760, you know, you're looking at right around $2,000, let's say. Let's call it $2,000. That is in the realm of possibilities, especially where Tesla has proven me wrong before. I didn't think it would run to $1,000, and here we are. So keep that in the radar. Again, feel free to hit the like button if you guys enjoyed this video. Be sure to subscribe if you want to get the latest, the newest videos. And again, come check us out Sunday, 5 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. Thank you guys. Have a good night and good luck the rest of the week.